Hello, my name is Erica Jenkins, and welcome to Crop Talk. Today's episode is called Swipe, Sow, Repeat, and we're going to explore how farm influencers turn AI-powered smart ag into scroll-stopping stories. So in this episode, I'm going to look at what smart agriculture really is, who these farm influencers are on platforms like TikTok and YouTube, and how they show off their AI-powered tools in their videos. Smart agriculture in this context, I'm talking about farmers using technology, data, and AI to help them make better decisions. So instead of just relying on their experience, they're using these tools and AI to collect and analyze information about their fields, their animals, and the weather. All of these are a part of smart ag because they're designed to make farming more efficient, more precise, and more sustainable. And so AI is showing up behind the scenes in many of these tools because it can help spot different issues and use other data to make suggestions to farmers. The farmer is still deciding to follow that or not, but the AI is processing this data faster than a person can. And so it makes it helpful for the farmers. But on another context, we're talking about our farm influencers or agri-influencers. So these farmers and ag professionals who share these short videos of their work on social media. They post about their daily routines, their animals, and the technologies they use. So in this episode, we're focusing on where these two things meet, where AI-powered smart ag on real farms and the influencers who turn that into these short scrollable stories. Okay, let's set the stage. All right, let's say you're at lunch or you're at breakfast and you're just swiping through your feed when all of a sudden you see this short TikTok or YouTube Shorts reel of a drone flying over a bright green field. You know, it only lasts about 10 or 15 seconds. There's music, there may be a text explaining what's happening. You know, the video looks nice and smooth and cinematic because it's coming from the drone. Now, if you're just scrolling, it's easy to see that as like a cool farm aesthetic. But in the background, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's going on. That drone could be doing more than just taking pretty footage of a farm field. So on a lot of farms, drones are being used to collect images that are going to be analyzed later for things like crop stress, pest damage, nutrient issues, and more. AI is being trained to look at those subtle differences in the colors and patterns of the fields and marking areas for the farmers to pay attention to. So on the viewer side, we just see something that looks like a fun high-tech video, but on the farmer side, that drone footage is being part of a whole AI decision system that's helping the farmer know where to scout, where to treat, where to plant, all of that stuff. Another type of video is a farmer could be sitting in their tractor and their hands aren't on the wheel. They're taking a video of the truck moving. And so in these clips, you know, the farmer might make a joke that, hey, that tractor's driving straighter than I do, or they'll show you how they only have to touch the wheel maybe occasionally, but the truck is driving a path on its own. You may see a monitor off to the side and it'll show the field where these have these perfectly straight lines going. And what's happening here is a mix of GPS guidance and even some AI-powered features that are helping to keep that machine aligned and adjusted based on whatever the conditions set are. And this technology is helping to reduce overlap and gaps, which means less wasted fuel, wasted seed, fertilizer, all of that stuff. And it can also help reduce farmer fatigue because the drivers don't have to manually steer that truck every second of the day. And for the viewers just scrolling by, the main impression might be, wow, we've reached a point where tractors can drive themselves now. And that's not entirely wrong, but there's a layer of smart agriculture and AI happening behind the scenes that the influencer is taking something pretty complex and they're just turning it into a quick, funny, and visual moment for their viewers. And the third example is kind of like, hey, let me show you this app kind of video. And so in these posts, these agri-influencers, they're flipping the camera to their phone or tablet, and you may see a map of their fields with different colors or charts showing soil moisture or graphs of data over time. And sometimes they'll tap it and they'll be like, hey, I know the field is dry here, let's go fix that. Or this tells me when I need to water or spray something. And behind that little app on that screen, there's a whole network of sensors, machines, and software systems that is out collecting data. And so AI is using advanced analytics to turn all those numbers into something that the farmer can actually act on. So it's making a recommendation to the farmers of when to irrigate or what part of that field needs extra attention. And to the casual viewer, it just kind of looks like, hey, farmers have an app for everything now. But that app represents a whole AI-enabled smart ag system that is constantly analyzing information and offering suggestions. And that the agri-influencers are just compressing that complexity into a quick screen recording that's going to fit into the short attention span that's happening across social media now. There's a pattern in all three of those examples. So people who follow these influencers, they learn what modern farming looks like, but at the same time, it's hiding a lot of the complexity, how AI actually works, what it costs, what can go wrong, and it's just compressed into a few seconds of video. And so now I want to step back and talk about who is actually involved in this swipe, sow, and repeat cycle and how they're using it. First, we have the farmers themselves and the influencers or agri-influencers. So on the farm side, they're using smart and AI-powered tools to actually do their work. They're relying on AI images from their drones, their precision guidance in the tractors, and helping them making decisions that are supported by the tools that they use. So managing their water, managing when to lay out the fertilizer, and how much. But on the content side of that, they're turning these everyday tools into stories. So they're pulling out their phone, they're not just filming a drone flight or watching their tractor. They're actually intentionally crafting content for an audience. So some of them are doing this to educate people about what agriculture is and to correct misconceptions about farming, but others are also trying to build a personal or farm brand, and they're trying to earn money through sponsorships, ads, and partnerships with those companies that are making these AI tools. And even in some cases with these agri-influencers, they're using AI on the communication side. So they're using AI-assisted tools to help them write their captions, generate ideas, and to edit their videos more quickly. Our second group is our viewers and our followers, so the people that are watching the short videos. And these are people who have often never worked on a farm. So for many of these viewers, it's their main window into what farming and agriculture looks like. So they might learn that now farming includes drones and self-steering tractors and apps that can tell them about what a farm actually looks like before they even hear it in any kind of news article or in their classes. And so their mental picture of what agriculture is becoming tightly tied to what they see in those clips. And so there is a downside to this, though, is that if most of the content from these agri-influencers is emphasizing just how smooth and efficient using the technology is, viewers are going to come away thinking that these AI-powered smart ag tools is easy, problem-free, and available to all farmers, even when in reality there are high costs, there's high trade-offs, and steep learning curves that may not show up in just these 10 to 15 second videos. And lastly, we have the companies and organizations that are behind these smart ag tools. So technology companies are building their smart and AI-powered systems that are benefiting these farm influencers because they're showcasing those products in a positive light. So when they see a trusted farmer use a certain drone or sensor on a real farm operation, that's a lot more convincing than just a polished advertisement that you might see in a commercial. And in some cases, these companies are actively partnering with these influencers to share that content. And so there are also some programs that are focused on climate or agriculture initiatives that like having those practices featured in human stories. And so when an agri-influencer is connecting a tool or some kind of smart practice to sustainability goals, then that can influence how both farmers and consumers think about it. So this isn't just random content. So they're not just putting out these videos just to show what farm life is. It's very intentional, and it's a system where these farmers, viewers, and companies are all getting something from this ongoing cycle of swiping, sowing, and repeating. So So now let's connect what I've described to a few course ideas. So first we have communication and framing. So influencers aren't just posting raw footage. They're choosing what to film, what to leave out, what music or text to add, and to explain how these tools work. And so these choices frame how AI-powered smart agriculture works in particular ways, often as helpful, efficient, or exciting. That framing influences how viewers feel about AI in agriculture, whether they see it as normal and positive, risky, or something in between. Next, we have the diffusion of innovation. And so we learned about this when early adopters, farmers, share their experiences with AI-powered tools. They're not only entertaining people, they're also showing other farmers what these tools look like in practice and signaling that they may be worth trying. For non-farm viewers, these clips may be the first time they learn that AI is used in farming at all. So social media is becoming a channel for spreading awareness and interest in these new smart ag technologies. Finally, we're ending with systems thinking. From a systems perspective, farm influencers sit between several parts of the agriculture system. On one side are farms and AI-enabled tools. On another side are technology companies and programs promoting smart practices. And then on another side, we have the public. So influencer content flows between all parts of these and can influence expectations, trust, and how ready people are to accept these new technologies and policies. A short, scrollable video is part of a larger feedback loop in the agri-food system. So looking into the future of swipe, sow, and repeat. So AI will probably become even more common both on farms and in content about them. On the farm side, we may see more advanced tools that give more precise predictions and recommendations, and more automation in machinery and monitoring. On the content side, we may see more farmers use AI tools for their editing, caption, and planning their content posts, and we may even see some AI-generated clips explaining their processes. That's going to create opportunities for greater transparency about how food is grown, and it also attracts young people into agriculture who may not have thought that farming was a career. But it also has risks that happen because of over-glamorizing technology, and it can blur the line between authentic farmer stories and polished marketing, especially if AI-generated media becomes more common. Influencers who are honest about both the benefits and the limits of AI can help their audiences develop a more realistic view of smart agriculture. From my view personally, I think there is a lot to this in the future for this. AI in social media is going to be a very big thing, and I feel like if farmers can find that balance between being honest about the benefits and the costs, but also being willing to talk about the risks and implementation and actually using the technology, I feel like it's going to help attract even more viewers and even more future farmers who don't just get the glamorous idea of how smart ag works. As I wrap up this episode of Crop Talk, I want to pull the main ideas together. So we started by defining smart agriculture as using technology, data, and AI to help farmers make better decisions on their fields. We described who farm influencers are and how they share their work on social media. We gave examples of drones, self-steering tractors, and decision and dashboard apps, and showed how those tools are turned into short videos that many people see. We talked about what farmers, viewers, and companies can get out of this swipe, sow, repeat cycle, and I connected it to communication and framing, diffusion of innovation, and system thinking that were part of our class. Finally, I looked ahead at how AI might become even more embedded in both farming and the content centered around it. The title Swipe, Sow, Repeat captures a cycle. People swipe through their feeds, see stories about AI-powered smart agriculture, and those stories shape how they think about farming and technology. Then new tools appear, more content is created, and the cycle continues. Every time we swipe past a farm video, we're not just seeing entertainment. We're seeing one version of the story of AI in agriculture. Thank you for listening to Crop Talk and to this episode, Swipe, Sow, Repeat.